Sure. Oh, okay. That's good. Oh, okay. All right. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. Oh, I did it again. Woo! Cooking. Anyway, it's not cooking. It is, or it's not weaving because it's cooking.
Oh
And
slash.
listen. Can't blame me. My weaver is already at level 100, so I'll need to be doing all that. How you doing, man? To work on that.
Just keep weaving.
Just keep weaving. Why? I need to cook. I need food. I was neglecting this. I need.
Jokes of course. Keep
Do
at
it.
it, brother,
I
lol.
need to do. If I don't cook, I won't be able to eat. If I don't eat,
Did I stutter?
I need to eat. People trying to starve me to death. Oh my gosh. I really need to do PvP if I can get that mount. I forgot about that mount. I gotta do it before the next update.
Another day in paradise as always. Lost that bid yesterday, which would have been nice to get. What's the mount?
It's so the mount is, I can't even describe. It's, what is it? Acre?
Botrix has correctly joined the channel.
Alexander Ray? Your top heavy looking machine. You have to go against two of them. One comes out first, and then the other one comes out second. If that can be decoded on what I'm trying to say here. Oh, missed it, but that's okay.
Brood.
Brute? I think, yeah.
Aloha.
I think it's Brute.
Hi Sync Tank.
Chef Sync.
So there's a couple things that have happened.
Hey, fun how.
Hey, what's up, Funhouse? What's up, Cherry? There's a couple things that happened. Got all my tanks up to 100. I can tell you very well who the clear winner is.
Cooking Scream.
Who are... Well, we're actually waiting for a queue. The unfortunate loser of the expansion and possibly the entirety of tanking, and the two winners. The two outright winners.
I would say Warrior is the winner.
I'd say Warrior and Paladin are. Paladin just feels like the whole package. So good. I'd say Paladin feels like the best tank, and Warrior feels like the best survivor. And probably it has oomph in his ability, so it looks like he's the hardest hitter. Although that is still the Gunbreaker. Dark
Have you
Knight is
LV
clearly
led
the
all
loser.
healers though?
All healers? No. I've leveled all tanks. So that does not pertain to this questioning. There's Azure. Also cooking. See, look. People cooking. Acolyte cooking's not, not even a thing. Alright.
Winner in which sense? DRK's DPS is still gnarly in X up. War is just a menace in dungeons. LOLPLD is a solid balance, and GNB is still fun while maintaining good DPS, while having okay self-sustain.
Dark Knight does.
But did you level the true tank? Summoner. I mean, brother, I already cooked out my levels.
Out your levels? Oh. I mean, that's good. You got your levels. I'm sure you're the best chef in the world. Dark Knight is third place in terms of DPS, but he feels like he doesn't have much at this point. He's still, him and Gunbreaker, both Dark Knight and Gunbreaker still has an AoE magic, AoE mitigation, which doesn't make any in Paladin and do just the same. When you're a Paladin, you also give not just a a mitigation, you also give a heal, like a small little restoration. It goes up a little bit. Regen, where Warrior gives you a dang barrier, like not just mitigation, barrier, like on top of that. So I would say those two definitely went out in terms of the
Haven't looked
AoE
at logs in a minute. Real life has needed me more than I have wanted lately.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Dark Knight is third in terms of damage. This is just personal. I think Shadowbringers should have came out in Shadowbringer should have came out in Shadowbringers, so that would have made more sense. That's just a little nitpick. You don't have to take that one seriously. Warrior, best survivor tank, lasts long in almost every other dungeon. Paladin also can take care of themselves. They have some of the really good heal and clemency, especially when it crits. Just looks good, and the damage is not too bad, even though it's like the lowest. I'd say it's just like balance between the mitigation and abilities there. I think it's pretty good. It feels great, especially like, but Paladin just feels great. It feels like an actual true to word tank to me, whereas like Dark Knight wants to be a
Give
more
me back
aggressive
Dark
tank.
Arts, and all its accompanying skills. Clemency is good healing but major DPS loss.
Yeah, nobody's ever gonna thank you, Greg. Love the wows. Clemency, nobody's really gonna use clemency unless they have to, because it's not part of any rotation really.
Clemency is last resort LOL.
So it's like,
If someone needs a heal, I give them intervention for that Regan.
so it's like that clemency is still last resort. Intervention, I believe, still uses your gauge, so you're still using gauge in case of anything. It's not, I mean, not saying that clemency will probably not be by people in an emergency, seeing how emergencies seem to be happening a lot more with the with people in dungeons for whatever reason. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the data center that I'm in, but from what I can tell, there are a lot of people who are just I want to say not as skilled as I want them to be, and it's not their fault. It's more or less the game is teaching them how to play that way, so I can't really blame them. Not too much. I can't really blame them. What
Cherry
else?
shall save the day and get us killed.
Gunbreaker still has this weird no mercy window that is just like, it just doesn't feel good. Like, I've tried to fit like all of my major abilities. You can't fit them all in there. It only gives you about 20 seconds. But that 20 seconds, they say, oh, you can fit as much as you can in there. And it's like, you can fit a continuation, you can fit your big blast, you can fit your double down, you could fit I think one of your dots. No, you can fit both of them. You have to fit both. So you have to fit both your dots in there. You have to fit double down in there. You have to fit blasting zone in there. You have to fit your continuation. You also have to fit your new level 100 ability. You just going buck wild. Means that you might have to sacrifice a couple of damage just to fit that all in. And it's kind of a struggle.
Seems to be across most DCS. Rather, it's a matter of the game not teaching anything. Here are your skills, figure it out. I heard GNB pushes out the burst strikes out for Beast.
Yeah, the one thing that you're gonna have to take out is probably gonna have to take out, I mean, it's fine because it's not your major damage. The 1-2 strike that Gunbreakers have, you can't fit that in your no mercy anymore. You have to fit your major damage in there. Level 100, your continuation, your blasting zone, and your 2 dots. So it's like, it's whatever. It still puts them at the top of the chart of damage for tanks. It's just weird. And no mercy misaligns with the rest of your abilities, so it's never going to just line itself back unless you go through survival. Only a lot talking about that. I do like Warrior a lot. Warrior feels like it feels like dumb damage. I don't mean to disparage the war, but when I say dumb damage, I mean it feels like people don't have to really think when it comes to
That ping makes
comes to
GNB
them.
feel even worse.
Bad ping. Yeah, I would say bad ping makes it difficult to keep up with it.
Gunbreaker is the only tank that has to worry about skill speed for the most part this X-Pack. Otherwise you do get misalignment. War is brain dead.
Now the one thing about Warrior is that I'm glad it's kind of brain dead, because that's a Warrior anybody can go to.
GNB with good ping though.
So Gunbreaker with good ping? Oh my gosh, what rarity. That would be great, wouldn't it?
Ninja Monk MCH and GNB is hard to play with bad ping.
I haven't touched Ninja Monk Machine, but I do know that Gunbreaker is a bit difficult when you have bad ping.
Me. I have good ping. LMAO.
Glad you have good ping. Somebody
Viper
has
is
to.
rough without decent ping.
Viper? I guess so, yeah, because Viper is always moving. You have a point there. I would say that Viper is still probably one of the easiest DPS to get to know, actually use. And that's probably because they made it that way.
How dare you always move, you moving mover.
What do you mean? I haven't moved at all. You couldn't even get into my house anyway. Unless you're talking about somebody else. Why Psycho circle around? I'm trying to cook, sir. I am cooking. I want to cook my nuggies. What do you know what? That is a question. Maybe I don't want to know this answer, but like what the uh-oh.
Make Cherry some cookies.
Playing optimally means double weaves, plus movement. Viper is easy to learn, hard to master. No, I will move. Caster is just concerned for your health.
Caster is concerned for my health. He's just circling around me, huh? Viper is still like very easy to learn. Hard to master. I don't know. I certainly got so used to Viper that I sometimes like lose sight. Like I stop paying attention after a while and go auto mode, and and I'm still like at the top of the charts of DPS, and it's just like, wait, what happened? Did we win? I look up and this
Viper
boss
hard
is
to
dead.
master. Are we talking about the same job? O.O.
I don't know. I don't know if it's hard to master. I got so used to it. It felt like I could sleep on it and see like the credits of a video game.
The job
sometimes.
plays itself, LOL.
But that's just me and my feelings on it. Probably not the same as everybody else. Proof of that is last night. I was doing a couple of paladin runs in expert, and I ended up with a Viper that was at the
I've
bottom
topped
of the
other,
list.
better geared Vipers in X1 and X2. Consistently, LOL.
As what though? X1 and X2 as what though? Like if you're playing as tank, I don't know. But if you're playing as any other DPS, it can happen.
As a Viper with worse gear. I assume Viper.
As a Viper with worse gear? I mean, I'm not gonna disavow skill. I was saying last night when I was going through expert as a paladin, I had a Viper that just did not know what to do.
I go on autopilot when Vipering, and sometimes I don't even notice low up. Asterisk HP.
Like this Viper was so bad. I wish I recorded it, but he was so bad that it baffled my mind. I was just like, bro, what are you doing? Bro, what are you doing? What's going on? And I didn't say anything, but I was just like wondering. I was like, what is he doing? Cause like he was so low, he was under the healer, and I'm like, what is he doing? Like it's literally telling him the class tells you how to play the class. So
Again, it
how
plays
is he-
itself, but not everyone has mastered it. Literally my case, LOL.
Like, I don't know. But that goes into the issue of like what's going on with people, and I think it's like a data center thing. People who
One
are
time as a
competent-
healer I managed to out DPS most of the other DPS in the party.
Yeah, that's a matter of
The
competency.
only thing that we have to think about for Viper is not overcapping stacks for Uncoiled.
For Uncoil, I'm correct, part of its opener is like quite literally taking 2 stacks, I think. Too sure. I know you. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong stack. I might be thinking of the stack.
Shouldn't even come close to overcapping on BPR.
Well, you can't over. I have to remember what the ability, but I
Only
do.
time you save for uncoil is 2 minutes bust. Burst asterisk.
Like the only thing that I would say is I have to remember what at the, but you stack 2 of those abilities in the beginning, then after you're out of your inheritance, straight into just unloading that. But I forgot what the ability is. It's not very important. The important thing is that yeah, there are people out there who just, I don't know what's going on, but you know, maybe I think it's the game. I think the game is teaching people not to play optimally, and I guess that's like the point. Like the game has been casual down for a few years now, like 4 years. It's been 4 or 5 years, been like very casual down when it comes to its content and classes, that it's kind of bewildering. So I've been running into more and more people who die in the middle of dungeons. And not in, like,
Viper
hard
is the
parts
only
too.
job where I struggled to put all actions on 2 hotbars, as in I had too many open spaces on my second hotbar.
Too many open spaces. Hotbar. It had trouble. You had too many spaces. Wait, what? You had struggle putting all of your actions? I didn't.
I mean, not a lot of games hold your hand into the upper limits beyond Hayrace how to generally play your role. Also True Viper has so little abilities, lol.
I'll show you mine. Get the chance.
My Viper bar is stupidly empty, it's funny. There was not enough for Viper to fit 2 hotbars.
I will not go Bahamut. I want to save Bahamut for the boss fight, so that's what I will do. I will lose out on DPS for this. I don't care. I don't care. This is a very good. I think I'm facing off against a pretty good samurai. Samurai is pretty good. Yeah. What? He's oh, he leveled out his black mage first. I guess he I guess that's how it is. He leveled out his black mage and his astro. But he's getting his samurai up. I guess he's going meta. He's doing all the meta job.
Samurai has the most DPS, it's way too silly.
I mean, I guess that's how it should be. That's the way they design samurai. And
Also Black Mage is still pretty good, that Umbral Soul changes so much.
I haven't touched black mage. I will after this, maybe after red mage, but I'm kind of looking forward to black mage being at the top again along with samurai. Samurai's still at the top though.
I really hated BLM on launch. Haha, funny Picto go BRRR. Loved it for the most part in EU.
I didn't mean it.
I'm so disappointed that retrace can only be used once and not like multiple times.
Man, I'm so glad I can slide cast.
Cherry is on the way.
Can't be having too much fun how lol.
Oh, he's gonna move from there too. Ooh,
Other than that, it hasn't changed that much. I mean, there's a 3 polyglot spots now, so.
Samurai is doing a very good job. Kind of proud of him. Or nice. Concentrating, concentrating. You can't stop me.
WTF.
You cannot
I
stop me.
forgot the thing it gets at 96, but Flare Star is fun.
I will not be distracted by your shenanigans, Cherry.
Cherry tried.
On launch, the removal of Monoregan ticks in ice was really rough. A buddy of mine is primarily a BLM main behind Reaper and we both hated it, lol. Get M Cherry.
Wait, you hated Reaper? Oh my goodness. I love Reaper.
I mean, after you get Blizzard 4, the MP isn't an issue. No, I love Reaper.
Uh-oh. I have to sacrifice. Ah, son of a gun.
Did you forget that skill was a charge sync?
Before Blizzard 4 you can just unbrawl soup him gently after switching and it's so fast.
I didn't forget. For a second there, I thought I could hit him and run away as fast as I could, but you know, the game said, by the way, you're locked in your animation. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, other than that, yeah, I don't know anything
I
about
misspelled
Black
it as
Mage.
soup. I'm calling it unbrawl soup now.
You're calling it Umbral Soup.
You
now.
still had to hit the spell, and Umbral Soul did not have any Regan attached to it on launch.
I'm just that. My spell for Garuda is a very stationary one.
Umbral Soul now gives you MP depending on your ice level.
Oh my goodness, what happened?
But it's mostly going to be 3 ice, so you'll get 10,000 MP imdently. Now it does, lol. My experience with BLM was since launch. I haven't touched it since the changes.
Thin Cherry gave Grandis a heart attack.
What? They left? I could have revived him. By the way, the warrior died. How did the warrior die? Guys, the warrior died. Oh, Lionheart. Okay, this isn't their main. This is not their main, I'm sure. Let's see. Oh, not at all. What is happening here?
How?
That is a
That should be nigh
hodgepodge.
impossible. I didn't see a bloodwetting.
You didn't see a bloodwetting? Maybe they used it already. It was probably on cooldown. Sure. There's no way they would not use bloodwetting at that situation. Okay. I was trying to use resurrection. I'm sure they used bloodwetting. I'm like 95% sure that they wouldn't.
Sag, they have like 3 other tools to heal up.
I am.
Cherry never trusts healers while tanking.
Why? You're a healer too. Would you not trust
Hi,
yourself? Hey, Yui.
And home gang, since the CD is so damn short. I'm going to stare at this buff bar.
Cherry has died plenty of times as tank from putting trust in them.
My AoE damage is supreme!
Brig, Draco, Skid, and myself have run multiple 100 dungeons with no healer as long as I am on my war. They just literally used almost every single MIT on that pull.
On this
That's
one?
why Cherry rather be the healer of the party.
Wait, did they use like every... Did they use every bit on that pool? Because, I mean, in that case, it's like, we'll lose it.
I once got shit for using Ifrit first instead of Garuda on a treasure map portal. They scared of dying fun how.
Okay, so what's funny about that? Apparently you're supposed to use Titan first. And I guess you're supposed to use like Ifrit, like the fuck, dude, that sucks.
They used Thrill of Battle, Bloodwedding, and Vengeance.
Thrill Battle, wow.
Cherry starts with Garuda cause of her AoE dot.
I start with Ifrit
I
because
don't see why the order would matter. You use them all in the end anyway.
So, I don't know, I can't remember why it's...
I always use Ifrit first mostly because I use Ruin 4 after the first Ruby single target. Order matters.
I just start with Ifrit if I don't need to be mobile.
I choose to start with Ifrit. I know you're supposed to start with
Cherry
Titan.
does Garuda, then Titan, and finally Ifrit.
Yeah,
Garuda
technically
damage
you're
over time is like nothing.
like, officially you're supposed to start with Titan first, but I don't do that. It gives me the same result anyway.
Slipstream
Like-
damage over time is like 20 potency. I do Garuda second. As far as I'm aware, it depends on the situation you're in. No. Titan is the least fun to use.
Titan, I don't know if Titan is the least fun to use. I see them all as equals. I don't really care which one I'm using. I use Ifrit first though, because just he has the
Titan
biggest
take
amount
up
of raw
Cherry's
damage,
whole
but
screen,
it's
it's
not.
annoying.
He has the biggest amount of raw damage, but it's not like, because if you like add up the damage between like Titan and Garuda, you probably can say like fairly
Cause
like, oh,
TBH,
yeah,
you're
but-
obviously not gonna want to use Ifrit in a moment where you have to move a lot. You don't like giving the enemies the clap.
And if they complain, I'll be at, oh my, look at Mr. Elitist over here.
I
don't
usually use Crimson Cyclone after the second Ruby.
I don't care. I just use Ifrit first. Like, I think it's supposed to be for party buff sake.
I tend to use my Ether Flow gauge just using the big summon in between instacasts.
Cherry will always start with Garuda cause Cherry says so.
Because you're supposed to start with Titan, because it's in the window of buffs. That's why you start out with Titan and Garuda, and then you use Ifrit last. Because that's when the end
I
of your
mean,
medicine is
if
at.
anyone is complaining, it better be because you're failing a DPS check in higher end content, lol.
I mean, I'm still trying to figure out like what's going on with which I don't know. I think it's the data center. I've had like Rio was there before.
Out of this chair.
It was just
Not
weird.
getting out of this chair.
I was literally
Garuda is pure insta spam.
I literally ended up being the highest DPS and I was a paladin. And I was like, what is going on here? Okay. Kind of don't want to do that, so I think we have like one more pack to pull. I envision myself ending up in Phoenix mode when I get to the boss, so I'll just save it for. I do like this, that you get to see like the boss before you get into it. I mean, they've done it a couple times. They've done it like a fair amount of times before. I like the silhouette kind of thing that they do in RPGs, where they show the silhouette of the boss. Wait, oh my goodness, is the healer pulling? No, the healer is pulling. That's very dangerous for the healer, and I'm not saying that if they do or do not have like a tank that really cares about it, but like if they get hit a few times, it's like it's their problem.
You're gonna find that across any DC LMFAO. Primal has been wonky, still have a char over there.
Yeah, okay. This healer is keeping him on a vice grip. Why isn't he moving? Actually, he can avoid the crocodile.
Noticed lately they've been trying to give mages more movement.
Let's have that. I'm pretty sure they have to at this point. They keep making content that requires you to move all over the place. Not a lot of times where you can just stand still.
I mean, they kinda have two cause of having to move so much now.
So Phoenix mode. Fountain of Fire at 34. 32. I don't get crits a lot, so I don't know how that's happening a lot. And I got the last one. That's good.
Also, yesterday's frontline was something. I managed to help get my team the win.
Frontline. You know, a PvP thing that I've totally cared about in the past. I'm sorry. Don't mean to be facetious, but it's like, I don't really like frontlines. Not much. Watch this. I'm gonna lay it on the ground, he's gonna hop around, and I'm gonna feel bad about myself.
What about CC?
And he's hopping around.
I know.
Urk.
I'm just slowly trying to get the series mount.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the mount too, but I usually just go to not front lines, Crystalline Conflict, because at the very least it feels like something that is like a PvP match. And I'm not gonna make that last one, so I'm just gonna fire. Supposed to have 6 hits on it.
CCI seem to be either extremely unlucky with my team or I'm missing something.
It's because the way you play Crystalline Conflict is absolutely weird. Like, the Gunbreaker isn't really a tank, it's just like a very annoying DPS. And tanks really don't exist, so it's like, except for the Warrior. The Warrior is like, you know, well, no, the Dark Knight can be very tanky in PvP too. It just feels annoying. You know what's even crazier?
CC is fun enough to grind out. The MMR